Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we have Dr. Антонио Грасеффо, economist, and thank you very much for coming to us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you have lots of studies about coronavirus and its impact to the society, especially to Chinese economics. And you're living in Mongolia. And let's start the talk from the coronavirus impact to the worldwide.
Sure. Well, the Chinese economy, as you know, is one of the drivers of the world economy. So it's very important to the global economy. For Mongolia, it's particularly important because about 80% of our exports go to China. So when there's an economic slowdown in China, it affects the rest of the world, particularly Mongolia. So during January, February, March, we had a tremendous slowdown, particularly in manufacturing in China, and exports decreased, dropped off tremendously. As the economy began to open in March and April, there were unfinished orders from January and February, so they finished those and sent them out. So there's kind of an initial upsurge of manufacturing and exports, and the economy had a bit of an improvement. Now we're leveling off, where the recovery in China is very much dependent on recovery in the rest of the world. So if the US, if the EU, if Australia are recovering, they will begin to order more products from China, and the manufacturing will get back to normal.
Now I have a very general question about technology and innovation in Mongolia. How is Mongolian competitiveness, and then how do you think what do you think about Mongolian future of technology and how it related to young generation?
I think that investing in technology and concentrating on technology industry is the absolute best thing that Mongolia can do. You have the human capital. 40% of the population is 25 years old or younger. You have a significant percentage of kids that graduated university, they speak English. Increasingly, you're meeting small children that speak English already because they watch Cartoon Network. The government's also put English lessons online, and people are learning. There's herders out in the steppes learning English on their phones. So we have the human capital. If we can't provide jobs for our young people, if we can't provide appropriate jobs for our young people, they're going to leave. One thing about this coronavirus, we're reading every day how many Mongolians are being repatriated from other countries. And I'm happy that they had a chance to go abroad, and it broadens their knowledge, and it's a good experience for them as individuals. But as a country, we need to ask, why are they going abroad? Why are so many people going? And are they coming back? That's the other thing. Do they come back after they study? So if we have technology industry, we can encourage the young people to stay in Mongolia or to go abroad for their masters and then come back. That's almost the best case scenario. And they can bring that knowledge back with them. And then the technology will provide the better jobs for them, the appropriate for their education and experience. And for Mongolia as a country, export type business is very problematic because we only border on Russia and China. And then you become very dependent on the economy and the political economy of those two countries. With technology, you might be able to do business all over the world and be able to earn money from all over the world without exporting.
Last question, and it's about the Mars V project. And you have some knowledge about the Mars V project. And how is it, what do you think about this project, the first thing? And then also, we are talking about worldwide, mankind talking about the fourth and fifth generation revolution of technology, and what is the link to this project and
I think
revolution?
Mars V is one of the greatest things for Mongolia. Why? Because A, we want to go in the technology direction anyway. We want to go in that direction rather than concentrate on trying to build better factories, and those things are all good and we need them. But ultimately, if we go in the technology direction, we can create very high-paying jobs. We can create jobs that pay world wages, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year type jobs that we can create here in Mongolia. So I think Mars V is great, and it's a flagship project because it's so unusual. In the whole world, there's very few of these analogs. Is it 7 or 8 in the world? Yeah. So Mongolia would be one of very few competitors in that market, which is great. And then it's sort of like a symbol for Mongolia. It's like marketing. You hold it. We can do Mars V, so we could do other things as well.
As an economist, it's about like survival and adaptive training base, yeah. And then the coronavirus is the huge signal for mankind. What is the adaptive meaning? What is the survival meaning? And what do you think this project and world's need in the near future?
So, in my country, in the United States, NASA, when we finally put an astronaut on the moon, if you look at the chain of patents, of new technologies, of new inventions that came out of that program, it's staggering. At the end of the day, putting a man on the moon, is it very significant? I mean, it's significant in terms of PR, in terms of feelings. Scientifically, was it terribly significant? We could argue. But what we can't argue is that the steps that it took to get a man onto the moon produced so many technologies that saved lives, for diseases, for medical, for just made our lives better. Eventually cellular technology and all these things came out of these space programs. So Mars V is another example of that. Just by trying to build the Mars project, trying to get to Mars, we will develop so many other technologies and patents that will help mankind.
Thank you very much, Dr. Antonio Grasefo.
Thank you, Mr. Erdenebold.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.